Right then. Now, these obviously are different shots, okay? But in terms of the takeaway, it's always the same kind of thing. Now, yes, with a shorter shot there, I think being a little bit closer to the ball is okay. I think I would say for these shorter shots of this sort of length, now the swing you're going to make maybe a smaller stance in terms of your stance width. But otherwise,
would you say that's more when, say if I was playing full shot, say 100 yards out, would you suggest like a normal stance or even a narrow?
I think it's full swings, full setup. I would just tend to look at like long shots and short shots. So you've got a long shot setup, which would be kind of what you got on the right hand side there. Your short shot setup would be a little bit closer there slightly. They're going to be closer together and they're going to be closer together. Okay, just basically shrink things down. So it's just a smaller version of your setup, to be fair. But the thing we're looking at in terms of the takeaway, and again, this is going to be quite a big change. Okay, look where your hands go. Your hands actually almost get, believe it or not, over here, over the goal ball as that club goes back. So really pushing it away from the golf ball, also away from the body. So now the gap you've got here now is huge. So if you just unhinge your wrist there, the club the wrist somewhere. I mean, there's no part of the golf ball that's going to get anywhere near to, okay? And then you've got to try and start making some adjustments. So the club goes back in this, been very, very flat. You can see the shaft there now. If I clear these lines, the shaft kind of over here somewhere. Then as you go back, you then got to try and redirect your arms back in. So they're going from up one way and then back under. The club shaft's now changing direction. And now trying to bring it back in. See the club now at this point, way outside the golf ball there, okay? I mean, there's not really much future from that position. And look where that club is there. If we play spot the ball, for example, okay, and we zoom in there, and if I was playing spot the ball, I'd probably say it's somewhere around, it should be somewhere around there. And we've got it almost about 2 or 3 inches in there. So as you come back to the golf ball now, off the hosel there, it's going to potentially shoot out to the right there, or you're going to get a cutty, weaky one off to the right. You look at the difference in that takeaway there. Now this one felt again exaggerated. A bit closer there. As you go back, there. The difference. That's just chalk and cheese. I mean, that now is kind of under your shoulders. Everything's all nicely in line there, okay, over your toe line, and your hands now are going to kind of work in and up over that shoulder there. Club shaft now through underneath your right elbows, or right shoulder, should I say, much better angle. Now as you come back down, you just come back down on the same kind of line. So there's kind of your backswing, and there's...
It's not like
it's not a massive change of direction. So it's like hammering a nail into a bit of wood. You kind of go, that would be the most efficient movement to go. You wouldn't kind of go and try and come back to it. Yes, you might be able to get back there with some kind of adjustment each time, but there's a good chance the nail's going to be all kind of skew position. Okay, so as the club then starts going back down now, if we come back and that sort of through into impact to sort of play spot the ball, look where that shaft's coming in relation to that golf ball again. The shaft now is this side of the golf ball, whereas we're showing this one here now. As you come back to the golf ball, it's the sort of dissecting the golf ball there. I mean, that club shaft's probably the equivalent of being kind of, that's where it should be there. So it's just miles out. And again, the only part of the club you're going to really hit is the hosel, unless you make huge adjustments. And that one of those adjustments would be to pull your arms in, which results in the slice. Because you're just basically hanging out the golf club. You can't let your arms release and sort of unhinge. You just pull, and off he goes off to the right there and stuff. So good stroke of that ball there now, and then just through to your kind of very good kind of full follow through up on that left side. So work on that. I think a bit of practice you could do. Put the stick or the club, if you've got an extra club there, to stick up on your left hand side of your rib. And what you're trying to do now is get the sensation as you take the golf club back just for this first part. But the shaft there now, you see if you did that there now, that shaft would still be coming off the leg. You want to try to almost scraping the club now with that shaft as you go back into the takeaway. Just that sort of first halfway back position there, okay? Or making swings up against the wall there. So if there was a wall kind of down there, you're swinging the hands and you're getting away from, almost take the hands away. They're still getting a little bit closer there. It's obviously a hell of a lot better than it was, but the arms are working in and away from that wall as the club kind of stays on the wall. So you're kind of doing more, as I say, butt in, head out, kind of that way, rather than that way. Because that secondary move with the one on the left hand side, then there's not really much future from that position. You've got to make so many compensations, and at flat out speed it's just all over the place. At slower speed it's just fat shanks and all of the above. So make sense? Yeah,
perfect.
Good stuff. Right.